Good morning. How are you doing today? Tyler Reynolds from Adobe.
Hey Tyler, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing good. Come on in.
Great. I'm excited about this meeting today.
Yeah.
Did Dr. Reckenworth get a chance to give you any feedback or any input about what happened?
We talked briefly a little bit about the fact that he thought he had buy-in from most of the council of deans. So, with that said, I mean, if he's got the level of buy-in that he says he does, I think the next step would probably be for me to evaluate the technical abilities of what he's offering.
Any more input in that? I'm just trying to get collaborative feedback.
No, honestly, there's a big initiative around driving more utilization of technology in the classrooms here, and it's obviously something that's been lacking. 90-something% of our classrooms are still using a traditional teaching method. Obviously, need to start integrating more of the technology capabilities so that we can, develop a good e-course. Increase enrollment. I mean, we understand we're competing globally for students at this point in a down economy. So, we definitely are making strides in the right direction, but, evaluating the technical abilities of what they're wanting to do is going to be my primary focus.
Do you know Dr. Peterson in the business school?
Dr. Peterson.
I think he mentioned he knew you.
Yeah, I believe I did.
I actually had the opportunity to meet with his sales training class yesterday, right before our meeting with Dr. Reckenworth, and I went over a couple of different capabilities of Adobe and stuff like that, and the kids at the end were really interested in the product I'm actually here to tell you guys about, and I actually got to do a demo with this whole entire class on Connect Pro, and they were thrilled about it. They'd never seen anything like the product before, and kind of the main way that I articulated it was it's kind of like a Facebook, Blackboard, Skype, smartphone application. And that's what it is. It has all the capabilities of this, and I think really more as well. And that was one of the main attributes they were looking for, a very...
what you got over here to the left is exactly what I deal with headache-wise on a regular basis. My help desk, we've got some disparate systems out across the university that are siloed in departments. In some areas where they're not as trusting of ITS's support, and I deal with help desk issues on those items every day. So,
do you work with Blackboard and the professors in Blackboard, and so
yes,
you're pretty familiar with that technology? What
are
some of the deficiencies you see in that?
Well, to your point here, I mean, there's traditional teaching methods that they're using, so they haven't integrated any curriculum or engaging content that's tied via technology back into our LMS system. So I'm really looking for something that has LMS linking capabilities. But I don't want it to be something that's disparate in nature. I want something that's more uniform with regard to, as an ITS director, as the CIO of the technologies group, I have to basically say, okay, I want something that the whole university can use that's going to be uniform, that I can help support, that I have support behind from the manufacturer, and that everybody's capable of using. So complexity would be the fourth thing that I'm concerned with. It has to be something intuitive that's enterprise quality.
That's great. So you're happy with the capabilities of Blackboard, because I feel like that's one of the main collaboration technologies professors use with the students. Do the professors and departments, do they utilize Blackboard? Do you have any type of technology
If they're happy with it, my job is to help support that effort, and they appear to be pretty happy with it so far.
Do you mind if I take some notes here?
That's fine. No, go right ahead.
Okay, great. So from my understanding, I read a little bit about your bio, and I talked to Dr. Reckenworth and Dr. Peterson. They gave me some great feedback on you and some of the initiatives that you were involved in. One of the things that I saw and that they told me was that you were part of actually the first technological initiative at this university. How did that evolve? How did you come in here and do that? You've been with the university like 15 years now, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's things that we could have done better in the past, and I think, after talking with Dr. Reckenworth and seeing, where the market is moving, like I said, back to the point of us competing on a global scale, if we're going to truly grow our campuses with the restricted budgets we have, we're going to have to start offering a better quality e-course. Our biggest concern around that is that if we're number 87 in the world, we don't want to go down, we want to go up. And to be a legitimate competitor in that market for business students, we are going to have good e-courses. I mean, we have quality of product that delivers the same, if not better, than what they're getting in the classroom.
I actually have a great article I want to forward to you. I was reading the Times, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and there's actually an article on e-learning technologies and how if universities are not adapting to this, then they're screwed in this global technological age. And as I said, the students, they're on board with this. So I think, our youth, I'm kind of young, but, the students here at the university, I remember when I was in a university, they are hungry for e-learning for this technological initiatives and stuff like that. You know, they're on Facebook all the time. They utilize Blackboard and Skype. So I think they're definitely on board. So I think the main goal of this meeting is to make sure I can help defragment the departments and stuff like that. Does that make sense?
You know, I would say, yeah, you covered quite a bit of ground there, but the truth is that, you know, even some of the students that come in here, their technical acumen being what it is fine, but their level of attention to detail and their willingness to engage with the content that they truly need to be doing in the coursework is what I'm concerned with. If we don't have a good, viable offering for them to be engaged, that's plausible for people on the lower end of the technical acumen spectrum, for our professors. Some of them, you know, have trouble right-clicking a mouse. Others of them are more forward-thinking and are on the early edge of the adopter curve. You know, those are the people we're probably going to lean on to help us develop coursework. We need a platform to do that that's simple enough for the people on the far end to be able to utilize, but enable them to build content that will capture the students' attention in an age where that if you lose them, they're not going to be getting anything out of it. So, you know, it's a grand scale effort for us.
So you kind of touched on this solution. What exactly are you looking for in this solution? Describe kind of like your ideal product and solution in regards to what we're trying to conquer here.
Okay, so, you know, I talked to Dean Reckenworth about this too, and I said, you know, we want to basically, for a true value offering to make us best of breed, we want a product that's enterprise quality, that we know someone's going to be there to support in the long run. Because we don't step lightly into these areas. I mean, we have to support this as an e-course platform for several years to come, hopefully.
And you want Adobe to help assist in that type of process.
And it's going to grow in scale, so it's going to evolve to something that may be out of the grasp of me to control internally, so I may need to have a hosted option for it. So that's the reason I say it needs to be something that can truly scale to an enterprise level for us if we're going to offer that. We also want best of breed to help maintain our ranking and recognition as one of the premier colleges for business students. That being said, we do understand that you know, when it comes to competition, it's all about what you're delivering to. So that's, you know, the way in which we're supported and the way in which our faculty is supported is a big deal for us, because it saves me time and headaches if I've got a good support base.
Yeah. You seem pretty excited about this, which, you know, makes me excited too. Dr. Reckenworth, I don't think is quite as technologically, you know, savvy as you, but I'm sure you have some type of concerns. I would love, I mean, do you feeling any apprehension about, you know a little bit about Connect Pro, is that correct?
Correct.
Do you feel any apprehension about some type of things? Have you heard anything? I'd like to discuss some of those.
You know, there's some concerns around the security of y'all's product.
Okay. Well, what have you heard?
Well, just, you know, from what I saw in the trial, Connect has a little bit of somewhat of a built-in training module session, and there's some visibility to people that are learners in that training module that is borderline a FERPA restriction.
Okay.
You know, if people are able to see who's going to those classes and what's in them, then I've got a concern around that. But I think you might have addressed that in some sense for me, though, because you said it does have hooks into an LMS.
Yes, it does. Have you ever had problems with security before at the university? I know, like,
any CIO that tells you they haven't had problems with security
is lying to me. Okay.
In 15 years, yeah, we've had problems like that. So it's obviously
is that
concern.
Is that competition, or do you want to go over, you know, one of those problems?
No, I mean, like I said, that's something
if
we need to, we would talk to the chief security officer about. But you know, they make me aware of situations that are impactful for the entire university. But no, as it stands right now, we're in good shape. I don't want to bring in any new technologies that are going to cause us to have headaches.
Absolutely, and that's definitely a concern. Now, as we progress this forward, I want to bring in one of my IT guys, you know, who's a technological expert, and actually one of my friends, Joe, or colleagues, Joe. He is actually, you know, works with security. Actually worked with the Department of Defense. They utilize Connect Pro, and you know, being America, we are. Security is a huge importance, you know, both on our homeland and in the virtual world too. So they utilize this product.
And DoD is a good example if you're talking government. The difference that I'll tell you right now is that in higher education, there's a lot of siloed environments, so it's not a top-down approach like you have in government. So we've got to be aware of, okay, is this something that we can roll out to groups that have a level of autonomy that certain areas of government may not have when it comes from a top-down
Can you kind of expand on that?
So like certain colleges have IT, obviously have IT people working within their colleges. So I have to kind of act as a goodwill advocate for IT services. As the COO, I've got to basically bring something to them that says, hey, not only is this in the best interest of the university, but you as a department can feel safe with me as a trusted advisor in IT to bring you a product that's going to not disable your abilities to do what you're doing now, as well as improve upon what you're trying to do.
Do you think it would help if you talked to another IT manager of another university? Are you familiar with Clemson, I'm sure?
Correct.
They're around about the same student population. I actually worked 2 years ago. Clemson implemented Connect Pro into their whole entire curriculum, into the departments and everything.
Did they start at a departmental level, or did that start with
it was simultaneous, actually. Adobe came in, I was one of the individuals, and we did it actually simultaneously. We first introduced it kind of the students and made sure that they liked it. They were all, they were all on board because, it has the Blackboard capabilities and connects to Outlook and has similar accessories to all these things with the department. At first, they kind of expressed some of the similar concerns that you have and that Dr. Reckenworth had, but they were eating it up. And I want to show you, this is a custom testimonial I put together right here. Okay. And Bobby Clark is the IT manager at Clemson, and I worked very closely with him. And as you can see in this quotation here from him, he had he shared some of similar apprehensions that you had about the security of it. I have his business card. I got off the phone with him yesterday. We check up with our clients every 2 weeks. And he said, here's his business card. He said, feel free to contact him via email or phone, and he's more than happy to talk with you about this. He loves the product. He actually does a little PR for the product. He's helped me sell it to 2 other universities. Very good friend of mine, friendly guy. I'm sure you guys will get along.
So does he have a Connect account? I mean, would I be able to contact him via?
Yeah, he could actually. He said he'd be willing to give you a demo.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's running smoothly for them. They've increased worker productivity so much. So he said it's taken so much off his back. He used to be working 60, 70 hours, and he said now he's been able to cut it down to 45 with this Connect Pro, getting all the departments on board, defragmenting everything, and the students are loving it.
Is this something that they have on-site, or is it a hosted?
It's an on-site server. We offer both options, but they wanted it on-site. They felt a little more secure with that. And as if you have IT managers and you have multiple ones at this university, you guys are comfortable with this type of things. If Dr. Reckenworth had the server in his office, I don't know how comfortable he would feel, but you guys, you're technologically savvy. You understand the logistics of these type of products. Okay. Would that make you feel better?
Yeah, no, I like this. I think I may actually reach out to him to see it, or I've got a group on campus that's evaluating some of these other technologies. I know we had a pilot group that was looking at a competitor product of yours called WebEx, and they had expressed some issues with regard to there was plugins that had to be installed. There's a wide range of issues that they came back and said, hey, we've invested this money in a pilot. We're not really getting what we want out of it, and we're not seeing any value. So, here again, I don't want to have them run through another scenario that with y'all. So, I'll probably have them contact him as well and say, hey, do you mind kind of walking us through this? But so, explain to me a little bit how Connect operates on the network.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I want to do is just one of our competitors. Cisco's an excellent company. WebEx functions actually similar to this. It's a decent product, but it does have some deficiencies. Connect Pro is accessible via 98% of the internet connected computers in the world because it has Adobe Flash. That's what it runs off of. So every student at your school, every professor is going to have Adobe Flash, and you don't have to have any other program besides that. It's simply a hyperlink. You send the hyperlink, they click on it, and you enter the room either as student or an instructor or another associate, and then you're in. Okay. Literally under 45 seconds, you're in this meeting room. Okay. And it's easy. And to be honest,
that was one of the deals we had trouble with. They were calling my help desk saying, hey, I can't get into this session. So that's good to know that you'll have that level of
any other concerns? You were talking about a couple of other things.
We discussed LMS integration. Dropping stuff on the floor. Yeah. It's one of those deals where it's not just the fact of us offering courses and driving our enrollment and improving our standing. I really want to make sure, and me and Dean Reckenworth have discussed that, based on some of the people we've talked to out in the industry, some of our students may not be getting to the commercial world with some of the skills that they need.
Yeah, this prepares them. As I said, we have high schools in India that are utilizing the American School of Bombay in India utilizes our programs. We have high schools around the world using it. We have universities. Borders uses it. We have a plethora of different industries of organizations that utilize this product and are extremely happy. As you can see in our testimonials, people are happy with our product, and we want to make you happy. And as we progress this along, I want to work closely with you guys. Okay. Right now I'm working about 2 or 3 other accounts, and I have plenty of time to help move this forward. Now, who are the other decision makers that would be involved? I want to schedule another appointment, and I really want to move this along at your pace, though. You know, I have time,
Okay.
and like, I want to take this. I don't want to rush this. I want to take this slow and make sure that you guys are completely comfortable before any paperwork is put down on the case.
Yeah, we're going to take it slow because I mean, ultimately, I'm the one responsible for supporting it, either on
If it
site
failed,
or
then it's on
otherwise.
you as well.
Correct. I mean, they're going to come to IT and say, "Hey, you pushed another deal at us that from IT that didn't work, and we don't appreciate that." So it's going to tend to drive away a lot of the people that I need to kind of draw a union between. So
Yeah, and as I said, I didn't need to say it's not going to fail. It's going to work great, but it's on you.
So I guess the next person we want to talk to, since this is being driven by the College of Business, did Dr. Reckenworth, did he mention, sorry about that,
Yeah, no worries.
did he mention Dr. Dan Brongill, who's the
Yes, he did.
College of Business?
Do you have his contact information? Do you want to set up a meeting really
Actually,
quickly?
no, I could probably help broker that meeting.
That's wonderful.
I've got, my secretary will have access to my schedule. It'll be a little
What's
bit
her
difficult
name?
for us.
I didn't get a chance to meet her.
Susan.
Susan, okay,
Administrative
yeah.
Assistant out front. You want
Nice.
to check with her. We should have some appointments next week where we can get together with him. He's had some discomfort with Connect in the past, so I'll just warn you about that. So you want to make sure you're ready with a demo and address any concerns he has because he's already going to be a little bit bristled around the
Okay.
experience he'd had previously.
How do you think the next meeting should go? Should I bring in a demo? I want to cater a presentation, but what do you think? What is the next meeting looking for? What are we
just
trying to do in that?
Kind of a brief demo and
Brief demo.
Keep it concise and address any concerns he has. I mean, I've got a pretty good understanding of where we're at.
You seem pretty happy with it. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I
You
think
know,
you'd be
obviously
blunt with me.
my team still needs to evaluate it a little bit more and give me their feedback, but from the early onset, I like what I see so far, and we'll take it from there. We'll get a meeting set up with him and get you to the next level to discuss it with him. But now it looks good.
Do you have a business card as well? Okay.
There you go.
And your secretary's name is Susan, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I'd like to meet her on the way out.
That'd be great.
All right.
All right. Well, I've got another one coming in. So
Okay.
thanks for taking the time today.
Yeah, no, thank you. It was a wonderful meeting.
All right.
You can hold on to this. You have the business card.